Hello, this is Joshua for Frost Dragon Designs, and today I'd like to talk to you about my Greatfather Bun hard enamel pin. This pin was originally part of Series 4 of my larger Black Cat RPG collection. Now let's get into the design. Whenever I do one of the big Black Cat RPG series of pins, I always include a handful of RPG characters that are not cats. In the case of Series 4, I chose to do bunnies. I had a little bun swordsman who was dual-wielding swords, and I had a little bun archer that I like very much. And to round out the group, I wanted to have a caster, but I didn't want them to be like a small, meek caster. I wanted them to be a big, physically imposing caster. And so I developed this concept for a character that I'm calling Greatfather Bun. He is a powerful spellcaster, and he is the patriarch of this rabbit society. He's kind of like the king, but not really, because they're not really structured like that in my mind, but he's basically the guy in charge. But he is also a very family-oriented bun. Now, he is the Greatfather Bun. Yes, he's in charge of things. He's very powerful. He protects them and everything. But part of what he does, every evening, he reads all the buns in their little enclave a story. He wants to pass on the lore of their people. He feels that this is very important. So story time with Greatfather Bun is a nightly event in their society. The children gather around Greatfather Bun. The parents probably stand around the outside of the circle. They like hearing these stories too. These are the stories of their youth that are now being passed down to their children. So this is really a family-oriented whole society gathering that happens, on a nightly basis in my mind, in this rabbit enclave that he rules. So the idea that I had in mind was that the reason he's looking so fierce in this pin design is because while he was settling in for story time one night, this group of adventurers stumbled in and interrupted story time. Now, Greatfather Bun, not knowing who these intruders unannounced are, springs into action, flames leap up around his mantle, and he is ready to dispatch with those adventurers because they could be a potential threat to the young bunlings. And you can actually see some of those young bunlings in the final pin design, and at the end of this video I add 3 small rabbits who are kind of standing behind Greatfather Bun, almost using him like a human shield, peeking out from around his robes to see what is going on. So that was the vision, and that was the concept that I had in mind while I was working on the Greatfather Bun design. I know someone might be thinking, why did you come up with all that? It's a pin design. It doesn't need to have all that backstory. But the reason, and I do this with almost all of my designs, is I like to have stories in my head as I'm working on things, because I feel like it helps inform the designs, and it could also help lead to fun or interesting details that I otherwise would not include. For example, without that backstory, I would have absolutely no reason to include those 3 little buns at the bottom of the final pin design. But because of the story, they make so much sense, because they're the reason that he looks so fierce, because he's trying to protect them. Now, you could argue whether the pin design would be better or not with or without those little baby buns at the bottom of the pin, but I feel like it adds an element of storytelling. I feel it makes this pin unique and different. And if anyone else ever decides to do a caster-style rabbit RPG character pin, there's almost no chance that their pin would have, baby bunnies at the bottom of it, because they wouldn't have the same backstory that my character has. And I feel like that's part of what makes a lot of my designs special or unique, is because these aren't just designs that I have turned into a pin. They're characters. In my head, they all have full-fledged stories, they have backstories, they have goals, they have objectives, they have things that I would like to have happen with them. Some of them interact with each other in my head. And I feel like that is really what helps bring these designs to life. So anyway, if you enjoyed hearing that fun little backstory, if you enjoyed watching the design process unfold in the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. I try to release a new video every week, and I would love to have you along for the next one. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.